You know, a lot of us spent time at the polls on Tuesday, and there were probably long lines at your polling place. Voters got out any way they could, even if that meant finding unique modes of transportation. Take a look at how my man got to the polls here in Ohio. This guy took his lawnmower. How rare is this for a police department to try and request a search warrant for something like an Amazon Echo? So if you're pulling for Donald Trump, if Florida and Ohio go, he still needs help. What's likely going to happen if Donald Trump wants to win the White House is he's going to have to either flip Michigan or Pennsylvania. Yeah, big marathon tomorrow, so I'm poking around in the Weather Center. And Joe, what do you have here?
I have Pedialyte. This is always my secret, especially when it's going to be really, really warm. It is really, I think, better than some of the sports drinks.
Now, is this performance enhancer?
No.
We don't test for that or anything?
No.
You're sure?
I'm positive.
The probable cause affidavit says Centerton police identified him by an Instagram profile and then by Googling the Fayetteville football roster. Problem is, the profile wasn't his. We're also told his name is even spelled differently in the messages police cited. We tried to ask the police chief how this could happen, and he avoided us. A big-time robbery in New York City on Christmas Eve. Stop me if you've heard this one before, but police are looking for 3 suspects that even topped old Harry and Marv here.
Megan and Scott, speaking of unique experience, we're coming to you live from the middle of Bourbon Street. This is either our best idea or our worst idea, but I think we can make it happen.
We are on 56th Street North, east of Highway 75, just west of Bird Creek. Take a look over my shoulder. This huge tree fell across the road and actually landed on that truck back there.
This right here, and I'll let you shoot it.
All right.
This is the Elite Hyper Fire Blaster.
Okay.
Nerf makes it, and you can shoot it. There you go. There you go. That's nice.
Covering news where you live. This is 5 News This Morning.
We're getting our first look at what led to an Oklahoma deputy being shot on duty. We'll take a look at that video and tell you how it all started.
Plus, local veterans get a hero's welcome after traveling to see the nation's capital. We'll hear their heartfelt stories coming up. Very emotional stories there. We're looking forward to that as well. In the meantime, good morning. Thanks for joining us on this Thursday. I'm April Baker.
And I'm Charlie Hannema. Let's get right to Joe because he's tracking a lot of rain on the way.
Yeah, we do have a lot of rain in the forecast.
All right, Joe, thank you. Around Arkansas, all of the inmates in Arkansas set for execution this month will avoid being put to death for now.
That's right. This after a judge rules in favor of a temporary restraining order that stops all executions from happening. The restraining order was filed on behalf of the company that makes one of the drugs used for the executions. McKesson claims they did not know that the drug they sold to the state was being used in the lethal injection cocktail. The company does not allow the drug to be used in that way. The Attorney General's office plans to appeal this decision sometime today.
Even if the state can get past that ruling about the drug, there are still other legal issues keeping Stacey Johnson's execution on hold. The Arkansas Supreme Court issued a stay last night. In a 4-3 decision, it ruled he should have more time to prove he's innocent. Johnson and his lawyers say new ways of testing DNA evidence can prove he didn't kill Carol Heath back in 1993. Despite the stay, prison workers are preparing just in case. They moved Johnson and Liddell Lee to the Cummins unit where the executions were scheduled for tonight. Lee is also asking for a stay because his lawyers say there's new evidence in his case, too. Meanwhile, lawyers for Marcel Williams and Jack Jones want their executions canceled as well. They say their clients are too unhealthy for the state's lethal injection drugs to work right. Williams argues he has diabetes and has gained 200 pounds while in solitary confinement. Federal Judge Christine Baker is reviewing that case. She wants their lawyers to prove why they're making these claims at the last minute. A hearing on that is set for next week. Meanwhile, a state senator made a pretty bold statement supporting the executions. Bart Hester tweeted, asking why Arkansas Supreme Court keeps siding with murderers. Called Judge Dan Kemp, followed by posting his cell phone number. Senator Hester posted his own cell phone number there, too. This morning, we're getting a look at the moments leading up to a man shooting an Oklahoma deputy. Logan County Deputy David Wade was serving an eviction notice for someone else when investigators say 45-year-old Nathan LaForce pulled a gun from his waistband and shot him from about 30 feet away. We've stopped the video for you so you won't see or hear the gun go off. After his radio was silent for several minutes, the deputy called in for help. Wade was shot several times in his face and body, but was able to shoot back. He later died during surgery. After the shooting, LaForce sent officers on a 5-hour-long manhunt before he surrendered.
New this morning, crews were on the scene overnight after a hazardous material spill at the pepper sort plant in Rogers. It happened just after 1 this morning after 2 hazardous chemicals mixed together. The building was evacuated and 1 person was hospitalized. According to their website, Pepper Source makes dry rubs, breading sauces, and glazes. The scene was clear around 2:30 this morning. We did reach out to Pepper Source, but they say they don't have a comment at this time on the cause of that spill. It's a big year for Chaffee Crossing with the new osteopathic medical school opening in August and ArcBest Corporation moving their headquarters there this summer. With the recent growth comes an increase in traffic. 5 News reporter Meredith Marney spoke to city leaders to see what their plans are. She joins us live now. Meredith. City leaders are talking with the highway department to see if they can start construction before 2020, but they would like to see the work begin in the year 2019.
Dozens of local veterans got a hero's welcome as they came back from a trip to the nation's capital. Folks came to Northwest Arkansas Regional Airport to welcome home 68 veterans on the latest O&A honor flight. Honor flights give veterans the chance to see memorials for the wars they fought in, including World War II, the Korean War, and the Vietnam War. This was the first time some veterans got to see those monuments that honor them and their fallen comrades.
I got to the wall. We lost 7 guys. Got to the wall. It was good. It was good for me.
Shrek and others tell us seeing the group of people at the bottom of the escalator cheering for them was overwhelming as they came back home.
Happening today, moves are being made at the former Whirlpool manufacturing facility. An official groundbreaking will be held there on Jenny Lind Road in Fort Smith. Group Phoenix Investors recently purchased the property. Their plan is to invest money into upgrading the facility to prepare it for prospective companies. The Whirlpool refrigeration production plant shut down back in 2012 after 45 years of operation. The company has since cleaned up the chemical agent TCE it used back in the 1980s after it was ruled unsafe. The groundbreaking will take place at 2 p.m. at the facility. And a group of students at the University of Arkansas are throwing a fundraiser tonight to benefit seniors.
5 News reporter Alex Durham is live there to tell us how this will help. All right, Alex, thank you. There's also a GoFundMe page set up for the Meals on Wheels program. If you'd like to help, you can find a link to that at 5newsonline.com.
All right, here's what 49 is looking like for you this morning, about 20 minutes before 6, and it's already starting to fill up. And construction zones, of course, will slow down this morning, but right now I don't see any accidents or major slowdowns for you in Springdale, looking south toward Fayetteville this morning. Look to be in pretty good shape. We're going to start out the forecast with a live look in Fort Smith coming up, and then we're going to talk about the potential for some heavy rain, not only today, but tomorrow as well. That's coming up.
You're watching 5 News This Morning, where more people get their news in the morning.
Centerton police came here to Fayetteville High School and arrested Terrence Rock during the school day for a burglary that happened back in September. He's playing tonight because school officials and Coach Bill Blankenship are confident police got the wrong guy.
Terrence is getting killed on social media. His reputation has taken a tremendous hit.
Attorney Lance Cox is hired to defend his client, but he says Fayetteville senior running back Terrence Rock should never have had to call him.
It would be unfortunate if he were 30, but a senior in high school to be taken from class on a school day and placed in handcuffs and transported to Benton County Jail. He has no choice but to do what he can, or have me do what I can to clear his name.
The probable cause affidavit says Centerton police identified him by an Instagram profile and then by Googling the Fayetteville football roster. Problem is, the profile wasn't his. We're also told his name is even spelled differently in the messages police cited. We tried to ask the police chief how this could happen, and he avoided us.
Because of Terrence's association with the football team, I think they jumped to a conclusion too quickly. He was not there, never was there on the date of the alleged offenses. I don't believe he's ever been centered in Arkansas before in his life.
The Benton County Prosecutor's Office tells us it's reviewing new information with the Centerton Police Department, but wouldn't comment besides saying it's an active investigation.
We're told by multiple sources the person who that Instagram account belongs to is a Fayetteville student, but since he's a juvenile, it's our policy not to identify him further. In Fayetteville, covering the news where you live, Charlie Hannema, 5 News.
Picture number 25.
6 months ago, Archie Bradley got news that changed his life.
I think the greatest thing about it was being able to call my mom and dad.
I remember being at home and I was elated. I was jumping up and down.
I was right there on Lynn Lane coming to the stoplight, and he goes, "Dad, I'm a major leaguer now." And I'm just going, man, it's just overwhelming.
The 2011 first-round pick from Broken Arrow earned a spot on the Arizona Diamondbacks opening day roster after a strong spring training.
Broken Arrow, Oklahoma is in the house.
With friends and family in the stands, he dominated his big league debut. 6 shutout innings and a 6-0 win against Clayton Kershaw and the Dodgers.
That's how you always dream about your debut. You dream about winning it. Like I said, what better way than to beat the reigning, MVP and Cy Young winner?
When you see him get out there, and this is your son on the pitcher mound, and his pitcher's right there on the big screen, you're just going, this is it. This is the real deal.
Archie started his career with a 2-0 record and a 145 earned run average. But everything changed in his 4th start here at home against the Rockies.
I let the pitch go, and I was like, oh, this is up. Like, this is not going to be good. And saw the swing, and that's the last I remember. Kind of opened my eyes, and I was, on the dirt, looking at the dirt. I just remember thinking, I was like, this is not good.
Archie appears to be conscious out there on the mound as he's being tended to.
My faith just kicked into high gear. I began praying and literally touched my computer screen saying, Lord, please put your hand on this son of mine and let him get up.
All of a sudden it was like, bam, I'm going, get up. Because he laid there for quite a while. I just said, move, son, move.
He literally said, this is the face that only a mom could love. That's when I think I started crying tears of relief. I could not until I knew he was okay. When I saw that swollen jaw, I cried tears of relief and joy because I knew in my heart he was going to be okay.
Archie escaped with just a sinus fracture and was back on the mound 18 days later. But getting back to the win column wouldn't be as easy.
It's frustrating. I mean, you talk to anyone, when you're having struggles, all you want to do is fix it and get better, especially when you know you're better than that.
After 4 rough starts, life threw Archie another curveball, a trip to the disabled list with a shoulder injury.
You just kind of go, son, if you're not healthy, it's not going to be good. You got to stay healthy to perform in this game, and so take care of yourself. Make sure they know if it hurts, tell them.
Bradley pitched his way back through the minors, but a call up to the big leagues didn't come this season.
I know who I am. I know what I can do. I know the reason why I made this team. I know I can get back to pitching that way.
And what I loved about Archie, he's taken every difficulty and he grows more determined. He knows that he has a job to do, and so he gets out there and he works harder.
Archie Bradley's big league story is only starting, but Mother's intuition can already sense the next chapter.
What will he do next year? I think you're going to see him come back bigger, better, stronger, more determined, and more successful than ever.
Charlie Hannema, News on 6 Sports.